Hi, I'm Emily of Emily's Line Fitness, and welcome to this everyday spinal mobility and strength routine. In today's routine, we need a mat or a soft surface. You don't need anything else, and we're gonna go ahead and get started standing. So beginning with standing with your feet hip-width apart and parallel, I want you to point your second toes towards me and make sure that your heels are really rooted underneath your front hip points. So you can take your fingers to these bony protrusions at the front of your body, and you wanna just cast a line down towards the mat beneath you, and your heels should be directly in that line. From there, take a second just to arrive on your mat, dropping your sits bones, the bones at the bottom of your pelvis towards the floor. When you look towards the front of your pelvis here, this triangle, your pubic bone and those two front hip points should be all on the same plane. Take your arms down at your sides. And now close your eyes if that feels good. We're gonna take a big inhale in through the nose. As you inhale, I want you to send that air all the way down to your pelvis, letting your belly expand, and then exhale, just passively let the breath go. Good. Now we'll take one hand down to our lower belly, one hand to our sternum here. That's the center of your rib cage. Keeping your eyes closed. Again, we inhale, sending the breath down to the belly, down to the pelvis, allowing the hand on your stomach to go forward as your belly expands, allowing the hand on the front of your rib cage to go forward as your rib cage expands. And then exhale, just passively softening those hands in towards the center of your body. Good, two more just like that. Inhaling into both of the hands here. Exhaling, letting it go. And now last one, a little bit different here. You're gonna inhale into the belly, into the front rib cage. And then on the exhale, I want you to push the air out like you're pushing out through a small straw, feeling those lower abdominals contract up, up, up in towards the center of your body. Good, in the next inhale, keep your abdominals pulling in, and we're gonna focus on breathing into the sides and back of the rib cage. Inhale. And exhale through that straw. Good, deepening the abdominal connection here. Keep breathing just like that. You can take your hands to the sides of your rib cage now. As you inhale, you should feel those hands expanding to the sides and back of the room. The fingers are spreading away from one another. And as you exhale, feeling your waist narrow in towards the center of your body. Good, keep going just like this for a couple more rounds on your own. This is your Pilates breathing or your lateral breathing. It's gonna help support a little bit more of a deeper abdominal connection, as well as more spinal stability. And because we are here to work the spine, right, this is your everyday spinal mobility and strength, we wanna have a really nice strong base, really nice strong abdominal base to support that movement. One more just like this, inhale, filling up, and then exhale, good, pushing that air away. From there, you can relax your arms down to your sides. Take a big inhale through the crown of the head, sending it all the way down to the feet, getting really tall. And then exhale, chin to the chest. We're just gonna roll down. One vertebra at a time, one spine bone at a time. And as you take this roll down, you can soften your knees, just letting your upper body drip towards the floor, bending your knees as much as you need to give yourself some space in the back of the leg. At the bottom, shake your head yes, and no. Inhale, and then exhale, press through your heels, start to curl the bottom of your pelvis towards the floor once again. And that curling of the pelvis down towards the floor ripples through the rest of your spine as you slowly come back up. We're gonna do two more here. Inhaling at the top, exhale, chin to chest, slowly roll down. And while you're going for these roll downs, I want you to take this time just to listen to your spine. So how is it feeling today? What is it telling you? For me, the right side of my spine is saying, hey, I'm a little bit tight. Don't force me into anything I'm not ready for. That's okay. We're not going to force it into anything. We're going to go for this mobility routine, strength routine, step by step, so that by the time we get to the maybe more muscular, intense work, we're ready for it. One more time, just like that. Inhale at the top. Exhale, chin to chest, rolling down. Enjoying this final roll down. We're gonna make our way down to the mat here in just a moment, and we're gonna be there for the rest of our workout. Dripping, dripping, rolling, rolling. Good. No slow is too slow. At the bottom, soften your knees. Give your head a big shake. Good. And now from here, you can plant your fingertips on the floor. We're gonna pop the heels up and then bend your knees, send your butt down, 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 down to the mat, simply to make our way to the floor. So coming on down. From there, we're gonna find our all fours position. So hands are gonna go underneath your shoulders, knees are gonna come underneath your hips, and we'll take it to a cat-cow, but a little bit different here than usual. Inhale, prepare. On the exhale, I want you to curl your tailbone towards the backs of your thighs and round the lower back as much as you can. Now, the natural curve of your lower back is actually an arch, so we're reversing the natural curvature to get a little bit more of a stretch. And then once you found your maximum roundness in your lower back, then we're gonna add the upper back. Good, and of course, the neck, turning the chin in towards the chest. Hold here for just a moment. See if you can breathe into the backside of your rib cage here now that you have a little bit more expansion. Good, and then exhale, come back to center. And now holding it in center, this time we're gonna arch the upper back, so reversing the curvature of your upper spine, reaching your sternum forward, your heart forward and upward. The chin, of course, is gonna follow as it goes up towards the ceiling. And once you feel like you've maxed out the arching of your upper back, then we're gonna arch the lower back. Perfect. So what we're doing here in this version of a cat-cow is we're trying to get the pieces of our spine that don't really want to move a little bit more, and the pieces that move more easily to kind of hold back so that we're really getting the movement where we want it to happen. Inhale in this arch, and now exhale. Remember, we max out the rounding of our lower back, round, 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 tailbone towards backs of thighs, and then you're gonna add in the upper back, only rounding the upper back slightly. Perfect. And now we're gonna inhale and you're gonna try to arch the upper back, reaching your sternum forward, chin lifts, and then finally you add that lower back. Good, keep going just like this. Exhale to round. Inhale to arch. Good, so this whole routine, we're trying to work on these sticky points in our spine so that you finish the routine feeling good and strong. And also, if you're somebody who has a lot of stiffness in your upper back or in your neck and shoulders, or you have pain in your lower back, you're set up for a good day pain-free. All right, let's do just one more. And then we're gonna find that neutral position. Perfect. So in your neutral position, we have that slight arch in our lower back, slight rounding in our upper back, and we're really stretching the crown of the head away from the pelvis. Shift your weight into your right hand. Take your left hand behind your head here. Inhale, and you're gonna rotate your left shoulder towards your right wrist as you go into a little twist. And then exhale, press through the right hand, open, open, open. Show me your front rib cage. Good. Inhale to go down, filling up the backside of your rib cage with air, and exhale to rotate. Nice, let this feel good here. Knees are gonna stay super still, lower body is super quiet. We're focusing on this rotation coming a little bit more from the upper back. Let's do two more. Rotate and open. Good, last one, rotate and open. Feels good. All right, take that left hand down, right hand goes behind the head, same thing. You're gonna inhale, right shoulder towards left wrist, and then exhale, open, open, open. It's very normal for one side of your body to be a little bit tighter. And so I wouldn't go into any of these exercises expecting necessarily the same thing from your right and left side when it comes to range of motion. But of course, we're working on evening out the two sides because having these imbalances can contribute to lower back pain, to upper back tightness, neck stiffness, all of the things. Two more. And open and down. Last one, open, hold that rotation for just a moment. Come back to center, right hand down, and now you can sit back, swing your legs around, and we're gonna come into our hook sitting position. So what this means is we're gonna have our knees bent, feet are once again hip width apart and parallel. Draw your abdominals in to grow the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And thinking about those bones at the bottom of your pelvis, your sits bones, you want to get the fleshy part out so you can really feel those bones rooting against the floor. And I'm on a pretty hard surface, so I can actually feel those bones kind of making contact with the ground. Hands come behind your thighs, inhale. On the exhale, think of that roll down. We're gonna curl the sits bones, bottom of the pelvis to the backs of the thighs, and you're gonna roll back, maxing out the rounding of your lower back. Max, 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 max. Good, hold for just a moment. This is your C-curve position, which I'm gonna refer to a lot during this workout. Your front ribs are pulling in towards your front hip points. You're trying to round your lower back as much as you can. And then when it comes to the rest of your spine, you're just trying to follow through so that your body looks like the letter C. You can go a little bit further back here, deepening that front rib to front hip connection, but I only want you to go back as far as you can keep your feet rooted on the ground. Inhale into the back and sides of your ribs. And now exhale like you're exhaling over a big beach ball. We take that C curve forward, forward, forward. And at the very last moment, we iron out that C curve to come into that tall neutral spine. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, curl your lower back. Draw those abdominals in towards your spine. Go back only as far as you can keep your feet rooted down. Inhale at the bottom, and then exhale up and over the beach ball. Keep the C curve, iron it out, find your neutral spine. Take your arms forward. We try it again this way. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, round, round, round. Good, hold at the bottom. Inhale into the back and sides of your ribs. Exhale over the beach ball and back up. Keep going just at your same pace here, your own rhythm. Inhaling to prepare and exhaling to move. Good, and as you go through this exercise, if you felt much, much better having your hands behind the backs of the thighs, go ahead and take them right back behind the backs of the thighs. No big deal. Good, and now, some of you who are maybe, let's say type A, type A, perfectionist, going the extra mile, you may be like, oh, I'm gonna lay all the way down. I don't want you to do that, okay? So it's not about how far you go back. It's really more about how much of a C curve, how much rounding can you get in the lower back. So I don't want you to lay down. Even if you're so strong that you know you can, I believe you, but I don't want you to do it. It's not the point. And I'm saying that because I'm one of those people, okay? I'm one of those perfectionist type A try hard people, okay? So I'm speaking to myself here just like I'm speaking to you. Inhale. Exhale. This one we're gonna hold back. Perfect, find that C curve. Can you inhale into the back sides of your ribs? Exhale, pull your abdominals even tighter to the center. Think of when you tighten laces on a shoelace. You wanna pull everything in, good. And now we're gonna take it even further back. Good, keep the rounding. Even further back, one segment at a time is gonna touch the mat. Nobody's beating me down to the floor here. Yes, all right, so we start to feel the back of the pelvis touching the floor. Good, we start to feel the sacrum touching the floor. My feet are gonna drag in with me. Then my lower back touches. We're working for it, we're fighting for it. Keep lowering one spine bone at a time. And now you are down. Really nice job. All right, feet are still hip width apart and parallel. Plant your palms into the floor. Open your chest nice and wide. I want you to press the backs of your shoulders into the floor as best you can. Inhale. On the exhale, we have our pelvic curl or glute bridge. You're gonna curl your pubic bone towards your face. And now connect those sits bones to the backs of the thighs. Feel that lower back press into the ground. And now push into your heels. And we're gonna take that rounding of the spine, that articulation of the spine, moving one bone at a time, up, 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 all the way into our bridge. All right, once you're at your bridge position, right, so your hips are as high as you can get them, I want you to try to pull your front hips towards your front ribs once again. Again, think about your sits bones, the bones at the bottom of your pelvis connecting to the backs of your thighs. And notice if you look at your thighs, if they've started to splay open, can you squeeze them towards one another so your knees are still hip width apart and parallel? Inhale here, exhale, slowly start to soften just behind the back of your rib cage, to the base of the back of the rib cage. Keep lowering, middle back hits the floor, and then the top of the lower back, the middle portion of the lower back, the base of your lower back, finally your sacrum and pelvis. Inhale, prepare, exhale, just as slowly, just as controlled as we went down, we're gonna take it back up. There you are. Good, and this workout, it's all about mobility. So for me, that means we're gonna take it a little bit slower, We're gonna add a little bit of intention to each movement so that by the end of this routine, you really feel nice and fluffy, mobile, like a little slinky. Perfect. Inhaling to prepare, exhaling to travel, inhaling at the top, and then exhaling again to travel down. We're gonna do just one more like this. I should mention, if you feel some tension building in your knees, widen your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and that's gonna help with the knee tension. Inhale, exhale, slowly coming back up. All right, this one's gonna look a little bit different, so I want you to come up as high as you can. Once again, try to curl your front hips towards your front ribs here, rounding out your lower back a little bit more. Maybe you push into your heels to get your hips a little bit higher. What you're gonna do is you're gonna lower the left hip, the hip closest to me, towards the floor, and you're gonna roll down through the left side of your rib cage, giving yourself a little spinal massage. Good, the right side is gonna stay lifted as much as you can, right, to slowly lower to the floor. And then you're gonna come back to center. Weight is evenly distributed between both sides of your pelvis. And then again, we're gonna lean into the left side and we're gonna take that left side, one spine bone at a time, back up. Once you get to the top, come back to your center position, and now we do the same thing to the right. So your right hip is gonna dip down slightly, left hip lifts, and then we're gonna roll through the right side of the rib cage. Keep squeezing your right thigh in towards the midline, taking it down, 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 down. At the bottom, you come to center, and then again, shift the weight towards the right side of your pelvis and curl through that right side. All right, we're gonna do a couple more just like that. You're gonna go with your own rhythm here, coming to center. The left side is gonna go down. Maybe you try to go a little bit faster here, exhaling on the way down, inhaling through center, exhaling to take it back up. Great, and then the right side, exhaling to take it down piece by piece, using your abdominals here to mobilize the spine. Oh yeah. We're gonna do one more each direction. Get the most you can out of these last two. Oh, I really feel this on this left side here. Got a lot of tightness on that left side. Oh yeah. Slowly rolling up. And now dip your right hip down. We do the same thing to the right. And now again to the right. Curling up, 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 up. Perfect. Now coming to center, reach your arms towards the ceiling here. Plug the shoulders down into their pockets. Curl your pubic bone towards your face as much as you can. Inhale, prepare, and then exhale slowly, softly. We lower one spine bone at a time back to the ground. Once you're there, I want you to find your neutral pelvis, so the pubic bone and your two front hip points are on the same level. You have a slight arch of your lower back away from the floor. Take your hands behind your head and lift your elbows into your peripheral vision. Inhale here into the back and sides of your rib cage. And on the exhale, we're gonna curl the head, neck, and shoulders forward, and I want you to just hold. Good, hold this chest lift position. We're rounding the upper back here, so we're getting to mobilize that upper spine a little bit. When you look down at your pelvis, still make sure pubic bone is pointing directly forward towards the surface in front of you, and it's on the same level as those hip points. Inhale, a little higher if you can, and then exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, curling up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, prepare, exhale to move. Inhale at the top and exhale to move. Once again, check that both of your thighs are squeezing in towards one another. Your knees are still in line with those two front hip points, and you have equal pressure between both sides of your pelvis. You're not trying to roll onto one side anymore. Lift your chin off your chest. Your neck is also your spine, so you want to think of lengthening that neck as much as you can. And in fact, your spine finishes in the skull, right? About in line with your nose. So you can also think sort of like your skull, your head is a part of your spine. Last one, we're gonna hold it up in that crunch position. Perfect. Hold here. Reach your arms towards your thighs. Use your biceps to pull yourself up a little bit higher without starting to tuck your tailbone under. Hands go back behind the head. We're going to add some rotation. Inhale, prepare. On the exhale, rotate your right shoulder towards your left thigh. As you rotate to the left, I want you to keep the right side, the opposite side of your pelvis heavy on the floor. Inhale to center. Exhale, opposite direction, left shoulder towards the outside of the right thigh. Keep your left hip, the one closer to me, anchored to the ground. Inhale back to center, 3 more each side. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center, 2 more each side. Maybe you get a little bit higher. 1 more each side. We go forward. We're gonna hold it center. Good, now hold it center. Press the back of your head into your hands here. Lengthen those elbows away from your ear, or lengthen your shoulders away from your ears. And now keeping this chest lift position, I want you to extend one leg long, point the toes. Extend second leg long, point the toes. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Keep this chest lift position. Inhale. On the exhale, I want you to straighten your arms to the outsides of your thighs. Another inhale here. And then exhale, vertebra by vertebra, we're gonna roll up, 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 up for your roll up. Good. At the top, we find that C curve once again. Rounding forward here, pulling your front ribs towards your front hips, trying to round out your lower back. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and make sure I can see your neck nice and long. Inhale here, exhale. We slowly roll back piece by piece, one spine bone at a time. Arms go overhead, and then inhale to the chest lift position. Exhale, slowly roll up. It's like you're holding onto a bar. At the top, you forward fold over those thighs, finding that nice C curve that we've worked on already, and then slowly roll down. Good, you can take it at your own pace here, inhaling to the chest lift, exhaling to slowly come up, inhaling at the top, and then exhaling to slowly roll down. Now, for me, this exercise is not that challenging because I have pretty thick legs. Thick legs. My legs are pretty muscular, so they're much heavier than my upper body. And so for me, my legs are giving me a super nice anchor. But if you have like a longer torso, for example, it could be that your legs are starting to flip up. I'm gonna give you an option. You can bend your knees and do that half rollback, but going all the way down this time. And that's gonna make the exercise a little bit more accessible. You can also grab onto the backs of the thighs and do the same thing, grabbing onto the backs of the thighs, giving yourself a little bit extra support from your arms. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, chest lift. Exhale, slowly come up. Inhale in that up position. Exhale, slowly go down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, coming up, 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 up. Forward fold over those thighs, pulling your belly button, pulling your front ribs in towards your spine, and slowly roll up to sit. Perfect. From there, we're going to take the legs a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. If your flesh has snuck underneath your sits bones, go ahead and take it out. We're going to flex our feet this time and reach the arms forward. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. Think of the roll down that we started class with. You're going to bring your chin towards your chest and then roll off an imaginary wall behind you. As you roll forward, begin to flex or bend at the hip and lengthen forward over the thighs. Pull the shoulders away from your ears. Keep your chin lifted away from your chest. Spine is nice and long. Inhale, prepare. And then on the exhale, we're going to roll up starting from the pelvis to restock our spine against that imaginary wall behind us. Inhale at the top. Exhale, rounding forward, forward, forward. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, rounding up, 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 up. Grow a little bit taller every time. Crown of the head stretching away from pelvis. Pelvis rooting away from crown of head. Good. And every time you do this video, you're going to get a little bit further. And if you're doing this routine and you only feel your hamstrings, soften your knees so that we can get some mobility in that lower back. It's totally normal and natural to feel your hamstrings here, right? The backs of the top of the thigh. But that's not what we're going for in this position. It's a bonus for sure, but we're trying to mobilize the lower back. So it could be that you just need to soften your knees to get access to that lower back. All right, last one. Let's do one more really good one all together. Make sure those feet are flexed, the toes are pointing out to the ceiling, knees are pointing out to the ceiling. Rounding forward, folding at the hip, inhale, and then exhale, slowly come up piece by piece, spine bone by spine bone. There we go. From there, we're gonna take our hands behind our head, relax the shoulders away from your ears, stay nice and tall here, push your head into your hands, inhale, prepare, and on the exhale, you're gonna rotate towards me, only rotating as much as you can keep your lower body completely still, and you're gonna give me 2 tiny pulses as you exhale. It looks like this. Shh, shh, like a sprinkler. Inhale, pass through center. Now to the right, exhale, shh, shh. Inhale, center, shh, shh. Inhale, center. Keep going just like this. Pivoting that rib cage around your spine here. Shh, 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 shh. Good. Keep going just like that. Shh, 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 shh. As you go just like this, I want you to keep pressing your head into the hands. I notice with the hands here that a lot of people tend to let the hands kind of dominate the relationship. You want to get equal pressure from head to hands to head. We're going to 2 more each direction. Shh, shh. Center. Shh, shh. Center. 1 last one each way. Shh, shh. Center. Shh, shh. Center. Coming back to the middle. Now keep your hands where they are. We're going to go for a side bend. So you're going to give me a big side bend up and over to the left. As you side bend to the left, only go as far as you can keep the right sits bone anchored into the floor. Exhale, come to center. Inhale, side bend up and over to the right, only going as far as you can keep the left side of your pelvis anchored to the floor. Exhale to center. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, center. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, center. Good. Stay nice and tall here. As you side bend, I want you to think I'm reaching up and over. You're looking great. We're feeling good. 2 more each side. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. 1 more each way. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. Ooh. And now release those arms, cross your legs. Last little bit of work here. We're gonna roll over the thighs. We're gonna take it into our swimmer. Laying down on your stomach. Bring your legs a little bit wider than hip width apart. The wider you go with the legs, the less pressure you're gonna feel in your lower back. So if this is like a bad lower back day for you, take your legs a little bit wider, okay? From there, we're gonna reach the arms forward. Inhale, prepare. On the exhale, press your pubic bone towards the floor. Hug your front abdominals. Hug your abdominals, they're on the front, in towards your spine here. So even though you're laying on the ground, there's still a lot of activity happening in your center. Another inhale here. And on the exhale, we're gonna lift the arms up and away from the floor, lift the torso up and away from the floor, and lift your legs up. So you're in this nice lifted position. We're gonna do a couple just like that. So exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Let's have the palms face the floor. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Now, while you're lifting the upper body, lifting the legs, I want you to try to continue to anchor the pubic bone towards the floor. So even though, of course, our lower back is working, we're trying to provide a little bit more length in the lower back instead of just relying on our lower back's compression to get the move done. 3 more, and then you got your last change. 2 more, hug the shoulders away from your ears. This next one, we're gonna hold it up. Prepare yourself, there we go. Hold it up, and now lift your left hand and your right leg a little bit more. And now lift your right hand and your left leg a little bit more. Left hand, right hand, left leg, and now start to swim. Swim, swim, swim. Inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep going just like this. You're long, you're strong, you are capable, and you are almost out of here. We have 8. In 7, pull the shoulders away from your ears. 6. In 5, we're gonna release. In 4, 3, 2, and release. Oh, you can take one ear towards the floor. Just shimmy your hips side to side. From there, take your hands next to your chest, push yourself up and back into your child's pose position. Once again, rounding out that lower back, getting a nice release in the lower back and the upper back. Good. As you hold this child's pose for a little bit longer as we wrap up together, I want you to begin to send that breath down into the belly once more. allowing your abdominals to relax on the inhale and the air to just passively escape on the exhale. Inhaling 360 degrees and exhaling. 2 more, inhale, exhale. Last one. And as you exhale, you can slowly roll up, feeling a little bit more fluid, a little bit stronger, and more connected. Very nice job. You can come to take a seat at the middle of your mat. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you so much for joining me for this everyday spinal mobility and strength routine. I hope that you were feeling really fluid, really open in your back, and that any tension that you came into the routine with has started to dissipate a little bit. If you like this routine, then I'm gonna link you to some of my other Pilates inspired workouts. You have the mat out already and you can just keep on moving. And if you like this workout in general and you wanna join me for more, which I would love, then of course you can subscribe to my channel. It's Emily's Align Fitness, and I have new videos coming out every single week. Thank you so much for joining me, for getting into the movement together with me, and I wish you a very nice rest of your day.